Imagine standing at the base of a wall so perfectly constructed that not a single blade of grass, not a whisper of light, passes between its stones. No mortar, no adhesive, just raw rock shaped with such terrifying precision that two surfaces, each weighing several tons, interlock with the flawless intimacy of a surgeon's seam. You are standing in Cusco, Peru, in the shadow of Inca masonry that has survived earthquakes powerful enough to level every Spanish colonial building erected around it. The conqueror's churches crumbled, the ancient walls stood, and no engineer alive today can fully explain how. These were not accidents. These were not myths. These were human beings, centuries and millennia before the industrialized world, reaching into the realm of the seemingly impossible. The Inca stonework of Sacsayhuaman, constructed above Cusco beginning in the early 15th century under the rule of Pachacuti Inca Yupanqui, built from limestone and andesite blocks that weigh, in some documented cases, over 300 tons. Yet these titanic stones were quarried miles away, transported across brutal Andean terrain, and fitted together with joints so tight that even today, a sheet of paper cannot be inserted between them. The zigzagging outer walls, 3 tiers high, have absorbed the violence of multiple major earthquakes without shifting a millimeter. Cross the Atlantic and travel back further still to a desert plateau on the west bank of the Nile, where the Great Pyramid of Giza rose between approximately 2560 and 2540 BCE. The Great Pyramid originally stood at 146 meters, constructed from an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, ranging from 2 to 80 tons each. The base, covering over 13 acres, is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across its entire surface, a surveying achievement that modern laser-assisted engineering would struggle to exceed. The 4 sides are oriented to true north, south, east, and west with an accuracy of less than 1/10 of a degree. Egyptologists estimate that to complete the pyramid within Khufu's reign, workers would have needed to place 1 stone every 2 minutes, 24 hours a day, for 20 years, move 7,000 miles eastward to the highlands of modern Lebanon, to a site known as Baalbek, where the Romans built the Temple of Jupiter beginning in the 1st century BCE. Beneath the Roman temple lies a platform constructed from megaliths that rank among the largest worked stones ever discovered on Earth. The trilithon, 3 stones forming part of the western retaining wall, consists of blocks each measuring approximately 19 meters in length and weighing an estimated 800 tons. A 4th stone, discovered nearby and still partially quarried, weighs over 1,000 tons. It has never been moved. Roman engineers, themselves among the most sophisticated builders of the ancient world, appear to have simply built on top of these stones without understanding who placed them or how. Travel to the southeastern coast of Turkey and descend gently into what was once a shallow freshwater lake. Here lie the remains of Göbekli Tepe. Radiocarbon dating places the earliest construction at approximately 9,600 BCE, making Göbekli Tepe the oldest known example of monumental architecture on Earth by several thousand years. It predates the invention of agriculture. It predates pottery. It predates every urban settlement previously identified as the cradle of complex society. T-shaped limestone pillars standing up to 6 meters tall and weighing up to 20 tons, decorated with intricate bas-relief carvings of animals, abstract symbols, and humanoid figures. The organization required to quarry, transport, carve, and erect these pillars across multiple circular enclosures implies a level of social coordination that no existing model of prehistoric human society fully accounts for. Travel now to the island of Malta, where a cluster of megalithic temples built between 3,600 and 2,500 BCE constitute the oldest freestanding stone structures on Earth. The builders manipulated massive coralline limestone blocks, some exceeding 20 tons, shaping curved apses and corbelled roofing with a precision of spatial planning that required advanced understanding of load distribution. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, sunlight passes through the main doorway and illuminates the central altar with exact, intentional accuracy. By whom and how a society without written records transmitted the astronomical knowledge required to design and orient these temples so precisely remains a genuinely open archaeological question. High in the sacred valley of the Andes, the site of Pumapunku, part of the Tiwanaku complex near Lake Titicaca, The H-blocks of Pumapunku are cut from hard andesite with internal angles so precise, surfaces so flat, and repetitive geometric profiles so consistent that multiple researchers have described them as appearing identical, as though produced from a template. The Tiwanaku people, like the Inca, possessed no iron tools. Analysis of the stone surfaces has revealed tool marks consistent with repeated, controlled abrasion. How a non-literate culture without metal tools achieved this level of dimensional consistency across dozens of large stone components is a question that continues to generate serious academic debate. And finally, we arrive at a structure that is not a building at all, but an instrument, Stonehenge, on the Salisbury Plain of southern England. The blue stones in the inner circle, weighing up to 4 tons each, were transported from the Preseli Hills in Wales, a distance of over 200 miles. Across rivers, across tidal channels, across open landscape, the sarsen stones of the outer ring weigh up to 25 tons and were moved from Marlborough Downs, approximately 25 miles away, then lifted and capped with lintels shaped with mortise and tenon joints. The site itself is oriented so that the heel stone aligns precisely with the rising sun on the summer solstice. Centuries of archaeological investigation have documented the physical facts of Stonehenge's construction, but the cultural institution that sustained this project across 1,500 years of continuous development remains incompletely understood. What unites these 7 structures across centuries, continents, and cultures is something that no academic discipline has yet fully captured in language. It is the evidence of human beings in ages with none of the technical infrastructure we consider fundamental to complexity, looking at the scale of what they wished to create and refusing to be diminished by it. They moved stones that logic said were immovable. They calculated alignments that mathematics said required instruments they did not possess. They built walls that physics says should have fallen. The ancient world is still speaking. The only question is whether we are listening carefully enough to hear it.